The last type of transformation we're going to be talking about are rotations. Rotations are turning an object about a point. Rotations can be quite tricky and challenging, so take your time with them. There's a little bit of language we need to be aware of. So if we think about this arrow here as a clock, this would be 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. The arrow is currently going like back in time or counter clockwise. You could also see counterclockwise written as CCW. Within this, there's certain degrees that you should be aware of. So if I think of this chunk, that would be a 90-degree angle. So the difference from here to here is 90 degrees. So in an entire circle, it's made up of 4 90-degree chunks. So what that means is if we add the 90s together, we can get other combinations. So for example, if I go here in purple, that would be 180 clockwise. You could do 3/4 of my circle, which is 270 degrees. Or a full circle is 360, but you would never do that because you're not turning it. It's just turning like a ballerina turning on her toe. So knowing that, let's go over this first example. So we're going to turn this triangle 90 degrees about the origin. So remember, the origin is at 0, 0. So this first point, let's label this. So we have A, B, C. So B is at 1 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A is 1 to the right, 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So C is 5 to the right and 1 up. So we're turning it 90 degrees about the origin clockwise. So we're turning it down in this direction. I think this is easiest by drawing little arms and rotating those arms. Sometimes it's helpful to use a pen to help you kind of set it up. Rotations are quite hard, and they're even harder to do virtually. So keep that in mind as we're going through these. So when I take this, I would draw this little L line. So for me to turn this 90 degrees, my arm is going to change this way. And I get this point here for B prime. A, and you can draw your arrows however you want to do it. I'm going to go up for A and then 1 over. So now that vertical line to move 90 degrees is going to become a horizontal line and then go down 1. So it was up 6 and 1 to the right. Now it's going to become over 6 and 1 down. So then I get this A prime here. A good thing to check too is A and B are still in a straight line. So you know that's good. We haven't made a mistake there yet. C, I have to go over 5 and then up 1. So that horizontal line is now going to go straight down 5 and then over 1. So that's my C prime. A and C are on an angle, and that's still the case. B and C are on a straight line. So that's my triangle, my ABC prime triangle, rotated 90 degrees clockwise. Rotations are tricky to visualize, so give yourself a little grace. We're learning this online, and that's harder. Rotate the square 180 degrees about 1, -1 clockwise. So let's first plot the point 1 to the right, down 1. So this is our point that we're rotating it about. Let's label the corners of my rectangle. So I have A is at 1 and 1, B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So B is 1 to the right and 5 up. C 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 7 to the right and 5 up. D is also 7 to the right and 1 up. 180 degrees, it doesn't actually matter the direction you're doing it. Either way, you're turning halfway. I think it's easier to break this into kind of 2 chunks, so 2 90-degree sections, but it's personal preference. It's all how our minds work. So A is straight up a distance of 2. So if I went 90 degrees, it's going to be here. So then another 90 degrees, it's going to be here. So my A prime is at this point. B prime is going to be similar because B is in a straight line. So B is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces up because we're 1 below the axis. So now it's going to go 6 spaces this to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this way, and then 6 down. When we turn it the next 90 degrees. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B prime. So on my original square, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 units between A and B. 1, 2, 3, 4 units between A and B again. So we have that consistency there, which is really nice. Because I'm doing this on my computer, it makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to go and erase these other lines just because it'll make it a little bit more clear for us to draw the next couple. Just so you can see what I'm writing a little bit easier. So this was A prime. So my D side, I'm going to go up 2 from my point, and then I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over, up 2, and then 6 to the right. So then if I turned that arm, it would end up being 2 over and 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's only a 90-degree turn. So then I have to go another 90. So now I'm going to go 2 down this way, and then my arm's going to go over 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my D prime. So honestly, from here, you should know where C prime is going to be. So you should be able just to draw that out. That C prime has to be here because I have to have the same rectangle at the end. So that rectangle has turned 180 degrees about the point 1, -1. Kind of tricky. I'm going to actually not go over this last one because I think you might want that grid if you're struggling with IXL. And then you will see I've left a couple pages here for you of blank grids. Those blank grids are going to be really helpful when you're completing IXL to draw it out and do some practice.